The track felt really good despite some oil being on the track earlier from other cars. We went out, did a few laps, had a few hold-ups, but once we got into it, I did a personal best in the last 3 laps, so I'm over the moon. You know, the car's never felt so good, so it was a good result for us today. I'd like to try and keep near the front runners without causing any carnage with anyone. If I can do that, I'll be more than happy. Well, normally you come down on a Friday and try and practice if you can get the time off, or if your situation dictates that. Yesterday we only got 1 session, but the car felt really good. We made 1 change. We're going to try in the late session, but that got cancelled. So we had to try it in qualifying this morning, and it was awesome. So, I've never felt the car so compliant, and that helps me because I'm probably not as talented as some of the other drivers. So it was really good. A friend of mine, a former go-kart racer, he told me about what he was doing. I had a look and got involved, and I liked the appeal of the different challenge, but also a little bit softer on the body than the go-karts were in the past as I'm getting a little bit older. And it's been a real, most challenging thing I've done learning how to drive a race car. There's still a lot to go. You've got to respect those good guys. I can't believe how talented some of them are, So. Hazard Solutions, that's my business. So the harder you work, the more money you got for things in life. So that's what I've been trying to do. Shane from Mad Motorsports, and just all the guys from the 944 Challenge. It's just been a really good club, and we're building it up. We've got 26 entries this weekend, and it's the best for probably 3 or 4 years. So I'm really happy with that.
I'm the Secretary of the 944 Association. I've been doing that for about 3 years now, and it's quite a challenging role, keeping everyone informed, dealing with the marketing, those sorts of things. This is my first time back since November last year. At Island Magic I blew the motor, and so it's taken a long time to get back, and I'm just a classic budget racer. And that's what the 944 series is all about, really, is getting people into motorsport at a reasonable price. I don't have any high expectations. I just want to finish the events and put the car back on the trail the way it came off, and just try and improve my times from what I did last year. Oh, the simple thing is, speak to me, go on our website, 944.com, and there's information on there about the cars. You can download the application. It has to be signed by 2 members of the association. It's a very simple process, and we just take a couple $100 off them, and off they go. So it's quite, everybody's really helpful for new people that come into the series, so that's what we try to encourage. Well, I'd like to thank young James here, who's been working tirelessly on the car from Friday, so he's been terrific. Ray White in Lilydale, and Glen Mays Autos, Craig at Glen Mays Autos is my mechanic, and he's truly fantastic. Also like to thank the AWSA, Colin and Gail Smith, for their terrific effort in putting on this event. They always put on an excellent event.
Car feels good. We made a couple more changes again, so hopefully we go faster in the race. But no, it's feeling good. I think I'm driving good. Yeah, the goal for this year really is just sort of get the car ready for next year. I just want to try and make it on pace with sort of Crystal Williams and the fast guys. And once we sort of get to that stage, just sort of maintaining it, because it's not easy to maintain. We're thinking of building a new motor now and get that in the car for maybe next round or next season, and then I think we'll be closer again. So yeah, look, these cars are really fast, well balanced and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, we are driving Porsches, which is nice to say as well. But they're great series. All the guys are great. Cheap, to a certain extent. All racing is expensive, but you can do this at a good budget. We got Plaza Auto Sales in Bendigo. He does big help with tyres and all that sort of stuff. Porsche Part, Dennis, he sponsors not only me but the whole series. He started the series, and he's a great guy. We've got obviously Bella Motorsport, which is myself. Bella Bodyworks as well, which is me. Maybe just like to thank obviously my dad, my family, because me and my dad do all the work ourselves, and you know, it's been 3-4 years of developing the car, and we're finally at a stage where we can say it's getting fast. So, and thanks to my uncle as well, my uncle and auntie, they always come and support me as well. So yeah, look, I'd love to race Carrera Cup or V8 Supercars. I mean, everyone would, but I think I wouldn't have the money to progress to that stage. So I think I'll be staying in the 44s because we are a great series and you know, close racing, and it's really fun. So I'm happy to stay in the series. Of course, if someone's willing to give me some money, I'm more than happy to sort of take a drive at something higher, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Taking a look at some of the race one highlights now for the Porsche 944 Challenge here at Sandown Raceway, and a huge field of 24 cars took to the grid for this one, and it was Lewis Williams leading Mills into the first corner, Harrison Emery running a little bit wide, and just look at that field coming in, Bella holding to the outside, Smith, Stanek and Miskura were having a great battle as well a little bit further down the order. Brent Rose in the early stages was all over the back of Adam Mills trying to get past. Before here you can see Dylan O'Keefe pushed way too fast into turn one and trying to keep up with Stanek, and unfortunately finding the ripple strip. That caused Studdard to go hard to the left, and off to the right went Brent and Grove, taking the long way, rejoining at turn 3 with Westaway and Miller to continue that battle. Those guys were having a really good run in those 3 Porsches. Just behind them was Doherty, who was in a battle with Greer and Katrina, who would actually overhaul them by the end of the race. So Katrina making 2 spaces up there from Doherty and Greer just up in front. You can see here the long line of Porsches, and there's Katrina right at the back there. So that was a good battle for those guys as well. And that then added to that, at the front of the group, these 2 battling for the lead, Brent Rose and Cameron Bella. They went door to door, blow for blow for a couple of laps around the course before Bella finally made it stick over the top of the crest. You can see here down into Dandenong Road corner, Brent Rose tries to go very deep. Contact made between the 2 of them, but still great racing between the 2 young blokes, and they managed to keep it clean enough to make it to the finish line, but no one could stop Lewis Williams, who got home with a very comfortable victory there at the end of the first race, leading home Cameron Bella, Brent Rose quite comfortably, and Harrison Emery, Adam Mills, Graham Smith, John Stanek, Vince Marusa, Tim Petrusic and Daniel Studdard rounding out the top 10. Welcome back to the Porsche 944 Championship here on Blendline TV. Taking a look at some of the race 2 highlights now, and 25 cars fronted up for this one, and it was Rose who was absolutely swamped off the start. Harrison Emery probably getting the best jump out of the lot, managing to sweep his way through into first place by the time the field hit turn 2. It wasn't a great start for Marius Katrina, who had contact with Doherty and Green. Katrina there you can see in the fence. Doherty and Green would also retire by the end of the first lap. When we went back to green flag racing, Lewis Williams wasted no time getting back down the inside of Harrison Emery, taking the lead away from the young driver, and then it was unfortunate disaster for Emery coming down the front straight, gearbox issues in his Porsche, forcing him out of the race and coming to retirement. Miller, Gallagher, Westaway, Grove and O'Keefe were having a great battle further down the order. 5 Porsches all battling each other coming down the front straight. You can see here O'Keefe was on a barnstorming run, charging forward and getting through that group. He would actually end up in front of them by the end of the race. A really great drive there by O'Keefe, but brilliant driving from all of them really to keep the panel straight and keep racing tight. Another couple having a great battle were Leno Natoli and Mark Tabritz. These 2 going side by side down into turn 1. There was a lot of side by side action between these 2, and that allowed Peter James to catch up in his Porsche 944 and buy into it. You can see here deciding to go down the middle of the 2 of them, not quite able to get past Natalie, but managing to get past Tabritz on their way through turns 2 and 3. Soon after, Richard Howe had an engine failure down the main straight, laying oil all the way down into turn 1. Grove was the first to be caught out on this. Watch the way he skids across the grass here, taking a lot of water and mud and bringing it back onto the circuit. Luckily, Miller doing great avoiding action to miss him as he rejoined. Mills and Stanich were having a great battle between the 2 of them. Unfortunately, a bit of contact as they went through the turn 3 complex. You can see here Mills having to adjust his steering. He was lucky to keep it off the wall. Great driving, but that would see him fade back. And then on the final lap, Bella, Smith and ultimately Stanich were caught out on the oil at turn 2. Stanek spinning around and luckily rejoining just in front of Stoddard and Rose, who were coming through the corner. Danny easing off there not to get contact with his Porsche competitor. And there you see it from the onboard. Just a spin at the critical moment when the car was loaded up on that oil laid by Howe. But that wasn't the worst crash of the weekend, with Mark Tobritz having a real bad one here at turn 2. Have a listen. You can see the way he just rebounded into that wall, rear end twice into the walls for the Porsche driver. Really wasn't great to see. That car would not be back out. The guys are rebuilding, but it's going to be a bit of a while before that car sees racetrack again. But no one could stop Lewis Williams, who recorded a lap record of 1 minute 24.5 seconds on his way to victory. Cameron Bella, Vince Marissa, Graham Smith, Daniel Stoddard rounding out your top 5. Race 3 now, and the big question on everyone's mind is, can anyone stop Lewis Williams? He's had a great run so far, record pace in race 2, but it looks like we've got Smith stalled on the grid, and Bella has managed to get the launch, and Rose through the middle as well. So there's a couple of great starts. Unfortunate for Smith, he was having such a good weekend, but it looks like Bella may well have got the jump. Rose is in the middle of Presturich there, and Stanek, so he's going to get up inside the top 5 very comfortably in the Melbourne's cheapest cars vehicle. But it is Bella who has managed to take the lead. Misarasha's managed to get through into second as well, and Lewis Williams in third. Rose up into 4th place, down the inside of Stoddard into turn 2. So that's a great start from Rose. He's picked up where he's left off in race 1. And just look at this big field of Porsche 944s. A little condensed after what happened in race 2 with a few DNFs not coming back in. And you can see here on board now with Mills, and look at the congestion in front of him. Mills actually had a stall on the grid, so he's made his life a little bit harder starting from the rear of the field. And Harrison Emery starting down there, but you can see Mills working his way to the inside as they come up over the crest. Just look at this battle at the front of the field. You got Lewis Williams. He's looking all over the rear of Bella. Rose up into 3rd place, managing to squeeze his way down the inside of the United Petroleum's car of Misaracha there. He's under pressure now from Stanek as they come into the final complex. Rose lost a little bit of ground with that one. He's pushed both of them wide. Stanek's going to buy into this one. Stoddard backing off through the final corner, and look at that. He's got the run onto the straight, down the inside of Stanek. Now it's going to be a duel into turn 1. We'll see who makes it there first. Looking at the back of screen as Rose has managed to get past Lewis Williams on the run onto the straight as well. We didn't see that one as Stoddard went to the inside, so Lewis Williams must have missed a gear, and Stanek's managed to hold out Stoddard as they go into turn 1 for this the second time. Graham Smith back up there as well, up into 8th place, so he's rearranging himself after that poor start. Good to see him back up there. We were talking to Smith earlier on in the weekend, and he's having such a good run. It would be a pity to see him drop the ball down. Picking up the ball is Harrison Emery, though. He's managed to get his way back up towards the front. He's inside the top 10 as we go out onto this second lap, down the inside of Goodard. What makes this more amazing is after we saw in race 2 highlights there with Emery's broken gearbox in the second race of the weekend. So for him to move himself up into just outside the top 10 actually now, he's putting on a great show. Look at the way he's fighting that wheel over the top of the crest and down into Dandenong Road and closing that gap up very well to Doherty in front. It looks like Westaway, and Petrusic in front of him. So these guys are going to make it harder now for Emery. He's managed to get his way through to probably where a few of the quicker cars are. Of course, a great parity formula, the Porsche 944 Club. If you're looking to find out more about it, go on to 944challenge.com. You'll find out how to get yourself racing in one of these mean machines. Great parity formula, and it really shows driver ability. Like Harrison Emery there, coming through the field quite comfortably, though now behind Westaway, he's going to have a bit more of a difficult challenge to get further forward. Looking at this great battle, and you've got Rose on the back of Lewis Williams, so he's lost the position as they've come around to complete the second lap. Heading out onto the third trek around this circuit now, and the front 3 are starting to pull away. Stood up there on the back of Smith. We've got a few other guys coming through, and just look at this great freight trainer cars. It's really one of those situations where if you lose a position, you're going to be stuck behind the people in front of you for a little while. Watch Westaway here, Michael Westaway. He's up behind, looks like Oh, I can't see that. It looks like Doherty, actually. So he's right up behind him, looking to make a move. And Lewis Williams making a move around the outside of Bella there on top of the hill. So he's retaken the lead. Bella probably letting him through a little bit. That Lewis Williams car has been an absolute rocket ship up the back straight all weekend. So Bella just trying to sit in now and hold position. Great for Bella and Rose, two young kids with a lot of potential in this class, and they're now managing to sit on the back of Lewis Williams. They'll learn a lot if they can just stay there. Looking further down through the field and just look at these guys battling. It looks like Harrison Emery might have reached a bit of the point of furthest he can get behind Doherty right now. He's not making a huge amount of ground on him as we look at them coming down the straight here behind Petrusic, and they're just sitting line astern waiting for their moment. It's all about pressure motor racing like it is up here at the front with Rose behind Bella. He's going to have a look into turn 4 though. It's very unlikely that you'll get the job done there. He's going to have to settle in for the run up the straight yet again. On board now with Graham Smith. He's up behind Stanek, so up into 6th place for Smith. He's made a great run back into position. Really good to see him having a good weekend, especially after the poor start we saw him have at the start of this race. Hopefully he can get up behind Stanek and make a bit of a fight for it for 5th place in this race. But as our leaders come down through to Dandenong Road, we're going to take a break here on Blendline TV and be back on the other side with more action. Welcome back to the Porsche 944 Challenge here on Blendline TV. Taking on board with Adam Mills here, and he is starting to work his way back up onto the back of Misarasha, starting to put a little bit of pressure on the United Petroleum's car, so it might not be too long before we see Mills trying to make a move here as they come down into Dandenong Road. Gallagher just in front of them in the Aluminium Industries car. The two red Porsches starting to be hunted down by Mills, who we saw have that really bad start at the beginning of the race. Stalled and missed the start, and he's now making his way back through the field. A great drive from him. Michael Westaway here coming through the back section as well. He's running a little bit wide. Yes, very wide actually into the final corner, using all of that concrete on the outside. And you can see now he's having to defend to the inside as they make the run up the straight. Further back, and Natalie and James are also in a great battle. James starting to put the pressure on Natoli here in front. Just look at this green and white Porsche. He's starting to find some rhythm and a bit of speed, and he may well be starting to have a look at the getting back that position soon. I dare say James is feeling confident inside that vehicle at the moment. There's nothing like drawing up on the car in front of you to start to build a little bit of confidence and feel like you can put a bit of pressure on. Just look at this. Line astern racing coming down the main straight. He's trying to stay in Natalie's mirrors here as they come into turn 1. Just look at that. Oh, huge moment for Natalie into turn 1. Braking, and you can see the rear of the car dancing all over the place. That's given James a bit of incentive. Here he goes to the inside for turn 2. No, he's not going to quite make it. So James decides to sit back in. It's only going to be a bit of time, though, before he's starting to have more of a look at that position. He may well be trying for a move very shortly. Looking back at this battle, and here's Mills. He's starting to fall into the clutches of Goddard behind now. So that pressure we saw him exerting just over a lap ago is now being exerted on him as he falls into the clutches of those behind him. It looked like Miller might have got a run on Westaway as they came around here into the final complex, and yes, he has. So Miller has managed to get past Westaway, so that's a change for position there as Groves and Greer managed to buy into this battle as well. Coming down the front straight, and you can see here on board with Michael Westaway. He's not happy to have fallen back behind Miller, so going to have a bit of a battle there happening between those guys in the not too distant future. Looking here at car number 50, it's the other Westaway. He's having a battle with Prestrusic and O'Keefe in front as we go on board with Harrison Imre as we come down the back straight here. Imre is up into 7th place. It's a fantastic drive from him. Starting on the back row of the grid, he's having a look in the mirror quickly, adjusting that. I don't think he needs the mirror right now as he's starting close on Danny Stoddard up ahead. You can see though, Stoddard putting a bit of oil out from under the car. I wonder if he's got a bit of a diff issue or gearbox issue. You can start to see that actually starting to cause a bit of vision problems for Imre as they come into the final few laps of this race. Westaway is all over the back of Prestrusic. O'Keefe in front. And these guys, the battle for position here, 8th place in the race, and they are just all over each other at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see how this one sorts out. O'Keefe is really the cork in the bottle as they come onto the main straight, going onto the final lap of the race here at Sandown Motor Raceway. Late in the afternoon, last race of the day for the Porsche 944 Challenge. It's been great racing and a great weekend of motorsport with these guys. Really good to see so many cars out there. Unfortunate that not all of them have made it here to the final race of the weekend, but still what a show we've been treated to, especially from the man we're on board with. Harrison Emery has put on a class drive of the field, through the field to get up inside the top 10, though the top 3 really, that battle has been intense throughout the race as well. We'll have a look at that coming into the final complexes of the race. Here you go, looking at Bella now all over the back of Lewis Williams. He's going to have a look down into Dandenong Road. He's got the lights on. It's pressure motor racing at the front. Bella, the young one, trying to have a go at Lewis Williams, our established driver in the category. He's going to have a look to the outside into the final complex. I don't think he's going to make it stick though. No, Lewis Williams holds him off as they come onto the final straight for the last time. A flash of the lights from Lewis Williams, a great drive this weekend. All 3 race victories going to him. Bella making it hard for him in the final race. Kane Rose, John Stanek and Graham Smith rounding out the top 5. I called up with Bella and Lewis Williams after the race to get their thoughts. Second place in the race was Cameron Bella. Cameron, you managed to push all the way home there. You got in front in the early stages. Did you think you might be able to hang on with Lewis Williams pushing so hard?
Yeah, no, I know he's fast, and I knew he was going to get me at just what stage I didn't know. But 2 laps in or something like that, he just flew past me and then just tried to tag on. So, yeah.
Do you take a lot of confidence from that sort of race, the third one, where you were obviously pushing very hard there at the end? You were holding second quite comfortably by the end of it as well. How does that help you going now forward in the season?
Yeah, look, I know I've got good confidence in the car now, so I know that what I can do and what I can't do. I know we're on the pace, so next round I'll hopefully just tweak a little bit more and get in front of Chris, so yeah.
Well, congratulations. Anyone you'd like to thank for helping you get here this weekend?
Porsche part, of course, Plaza Auto Sales in Bendigo, Bella Motorsport, and all the guys here on the back of the board here.
Excellent. There you have it. Cameron Bella's second place in that third race of the weekend. Well, in history on paper, that will look like a comfortable weekend for Chris Lewis Williams. Pole position and 3 race victories, but Chris, that third race, incredibly hard. You were being pushed home hard by the boys.
Yeah, no, Cam and Kane pushed us all the way. Yeah, look, the car was fantastic all weekend. 24.2 in quali, which is the fastest we've ever been around here. Like we talked about last time, just work on the car, get grip, and it was really good. But yeah, we got to the front, just put in some fast laps, make a gap and manage the gap. So yeah, the car was fantastic all weekend.
Yeah, it seemed like this weekend you were on top of things much more. Did you put a lot of work between the 2 rounds, third and fourth, to just make sure that you guys got here and hit the ground running?
Yeah, mate, hours in the gym, personal trainer, no, none of that. No. We watched some videos and learnt from what we did last time. Seeing the Blendline TV show on Channel 31, fantastic. It's great to see us on the telly. So yeah, it was we looked at the car, made sure everything was spot on, and she came out of the box running.
Well done on another round victory. That certainly helps the championship.
Indeed, yeah.
Anyone you'd like to thank for the continued effort this year with you?
Absolutely. Again, the boys from High Talk continue to develop. Dwayne and Stewie, Tim and Dave, just work on the cars for us all the time, make them fantastic. We've got to thank G-Floor, Rocket Digital, Spices, Porsche Part for looking after our series again, and the guys at Yokohama. And again, Blendline TV, it's great to be on the telly, and we think we're 26 cars this weekend. We think that's helping the series, so you're bringing young kids through. So we're a great little series to have a race in, and hopefully some coverage for you guys will strengthen that up.
Well, this weekend certainly proved that it is a great series to be in. Lots of strong racing and great drivers throughout the field. It was good to see here again on Blendline TV. So make sure you tune in for round 5. We're out here on Blendline TV again with the Porsche 944s. Bye for now.